Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna show you what I've been doing for the longest time, and I recently just kind of found out that it was completely wrong for my swing, and it's something that I've been carrying over for like years. And basically all it is just having the face like shut like this at my address position. So I'm gonna show you today how I kind of fix that, and why I think it's important for a lot of amateurs like me to have it square rather than closing it up a little, which I have to be honest, it does help initially, especially when you come over the top, when you don't want to slice it. It did help for many years, but I think ultimately you want to just play with a square face, which in theory it may look more open than square, to be honest, and I think that's why I kind of developed that bad habit. So I'll explain to you what I did and how my game is definitely way better playing with just a square face like this rather than playing it like this. So stay tuned. So for many years, I don't know, I mean, I was just basically closing the face on my address position. I was like doing it like this, and then I was hitting some really good shots that way. So basically I was releasing to the right, so kind of closing the face and releasing to the right, which actually some people do that when they want to play a draw, but it doesn't work like if you want to hit it straight or if you want to play a fade, and then it becomes very complicated if you're convinced that that's how you should play it. I kind of carry that over to my driver, to all my irons, and ultimately that kind of like, it was kind of ruining my game. And you know, when it didn't go right, I just started hitting a lot of hooks. So I went from going like this, which is, if you think about it, it's not that bad. It seems almost square, but a square will be this. So it's actually night and day for me. To me, right there, it looks like it's open, but it's not. It's square. That's how it is. Okay, so I have an 8-iron. I'll show you exactly what I was doing. I was doing like this. This is, for me, before this was square, and now I changed already for a couple of weeks. I can see that that's close. This right here is square, and it did feel like open initially, but I know now that that is square. That you know, if you want the ball to go straight, if you're gonna swing without compensating, that's how the club should be laying down like this. Let me give you a view from the top here. So basically before, for me, that was square for me. So you can definitely see that it's slightly closed the face right here. So I went from that to this right here. So it's a huge difference. But if you actually look at the blade right there, where there's like the white markings right there, you can see that this is close. I mean, there's no way. That's like almost aiming left now. And this right here is square, and it almost looks to me like this, but it's not. Okay, so on the way you notice that you made the change, I mean, for me at least, is that when I can see where the ball is going. So if I'm aiming right there to the yellow flag, my feet are aiming to the left of that. Before, I can see the ball like started like to the left. So now you're gonna see that if I play with a square face, it's gonna start exactly where I want it to start. So right there, that's perfect. And so I was changing so much on my swing, but I was neglecting this part that was really important to me. So if I would have played the same shot, just slightly closed like that, I would have pulled it. So I was kind of blaming my pulls on my swing, but it had nothing to do with my swing. It's just the way that I was putting down the face. So again, that's square. Yeah, it still looks a little weird for me. It looks like it's open, but that's yellow flag right there. And all I have to do is swing now. Okay. It went just slightly left, but if I would have done the same thing before, that would have been like a hook. Okay, so let me show you right here with my 5-iron. So basically, now you can see that my feet are aiming there, and the ball actually goes to the right of it. Before, it was like my feet were aiming there, and the ball was going to the left of it, simply because the face was shut. So now I'm gonna aim to the 150 mark there. Right here is gonna be square, which looks open to me, but it's not. It's square. And I'm just gonna swing away, 5-iron. Okay, so that's a little better. It went just slightly left, but quite straight for me. So that's way better than before, because before what I was doing, I was just like holding it like this. So basically that's close. So that's why I was aiming so much to the right. So I was like crossing over. So basically I was doing the same thing on my driver. Before I was doing like this. So I was kind of like having the face this way, and I thought that was like square, but actually it was not. Now I realized that the square is like this, the way it's sitting down actually. So that's square, and I'm gonna just play a lot better without compensating if I play a square face rather than having it like this. Okay, so I'll show you with the driver the same way with the irons. It's gonna take some time to get adjusted for me, because it feels like it's open, but it's not. So I just have to release, do the same thing I was doing before. It's square now, the face. So right there, to me it looks a little open, but it's not. So just take a swing, and that goes straight. So that's better than I was doing before. Before I was kind of like closing the face just slightly, but that was causing a lot of problems. A lot of times I compensated and it went straight, or even went like far, no problem. But the moment like you start messing up, you're gonna run into a lot of issues, a lot of hooks, a lot of pulls, and then it's gonna look like basically, you know, I kind of try to compensate with my feet, try to aim to the right like this. So, and that kind of like already, I got used to aiming to the right. It felt like I was aiming straight, but that's what I'm using this drill stick. I think what happens in the end, it's like you compensate less. So for me, it's better because I don't have to worry about trying to compensate my swing. I know that I'm already starting at a good point, aiming correctly. I will make another video on that, because that's a new discovery I made too. I was aiming too much to the right, but it was as a result of this right here. So I think for me, if I'm addressed correctly, square, then that's one less factor I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about trying to compensate, or even releasing too much to the right or to the left. So now all I have to do is just swing basically, and it makes everything so much easier. So it's gonna take some time to get adjusted obviously, but basically it feels open to me, but I have to get used to that. And once I have it here, I just have to swing. Okay, that's great. I mean, that never hit straight shots like that. That was beautiful. And all that happened there is just the face was just square. It was not, I don't have to deal with this closed face anymore, where, you know, I have to like release more to the right because the face is square. Obviously, some good players do that. They kind of close the face and play the draw, but I can't do that on every single drive. If you're trying this out, if you struggle with this thing, just remember that when you do it, make sure you get the right alignment, because that's another factor that is going to kind of ruin your path. So if you're aiming like me, where I used to aim like this before, I used to aim like to the right, and I was thinking that I was straight. So now I'm aiming more to the, I think what happens is you have to aim just regardless a little more to the left with your feet. All right guys, so that was it for the video. So this is definitely something new to me, because I was doing this for the longest time. I think I carried this over from when I was like really high handicapper, and it got me playing well for a long time, and because I was slicing. So then I slightly closed the face, I was compensating, and it worked like a charm, I have to tell you. But now I recently play, and then I noticed that I was hooking a lot of shots, and I don't want to do that anymore. It's just like it brings more damage to my game than good, you know, because I don't slice it anymore. I was just hooking it, and then I realized that I was just basically playing with a closed face. So remember, when you do this, make sure you align it correctly, and that's the way it should be. I mean, just put it down. If you put down the driver, that's how it should look like, not like this. And if you try the irons, do the same way. If you try like a 7-iron, I think with the irons it's a little more difficult, because it's easier to close the face. So you see, but it's like this. It's supposed to be like this. It looks open, I know, but it's not. That's how it is. It's not this right here. I think the best way is to look at the blade and align it with your target. That's the best way, right? It looks open to me. I mean, that's the 7-iron. It looks open. All right, guys, so that was it for the video. So make sure to check that out, guys. It's something that you can definitely improve if you struggle with this close face on the address position. I think it's going to bring more damage ultimately in your, later in the game. It's going to hurt you more than help you. Like I said, I've done it for the longest time, and this is a major swing change for me because I've been playing with a close face for the longest time, and I've been playing it successfully because I got down to 6 handicap with playing like this with a close face. I'm not saying that I wasn't like this, but it was only slightly close, but it was close. So, but I feel like it's going to be too difficult unless you're playing purposely like a draw. So you aim to the right, and then you hit that. But I can't like have my game constantly just play draws all the time, and then I will have to commit to that. I have to aim. I think it becomes more complicated if you're doing that. So remember, use your drill stick to get the alignment and play with a square face. It's much better. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time.